Ladies and gentlemen, day one of the Atlanta Falcons rookie minicamp is officially underway in the books, and man, do these guys look like absolute units. Right here, Jalon Walker, a guy I was super high on. You also look at James Pearce. We're going to look at a lot about these guys. I'm telling you right now, this defense is going to be fierce. They're going to be different going into next season. A ton of speed coming off the edge. However, before we get more into James Pearce and Jalon Walker, I need you guys to do me a little favor, okay? You're going to see some names at the top left of your screen. Go follow them on X or Twitter, because without them, these videos are not possible to make. So go give them a follow on X or Twitter. They're going to give you and keep you updated with every single highlight of every single practice throughout the entirety of the offseason. So go check them out real quickly if you haven't done so already. Let's kind of dive into day one. Look at James Pearce, man. Massive human being. Let's dive into practice. All right, now what's so important about these two guys right here is because when you look at the Atlanta Falcons from last season, guys, they ranked 31st in the NFL in QB sack percentage, which means they were one of the worst teams in football. When it came to getting to the quarterback. James Pearce and Jalon Walker are two guys that are ferocious off the edge at a combination of size, speed, elusiveness, and the ability to have multiple different pass rush moves, okay? So the first thing that I want to tell you guys is you can tell, again, they're not allowed, these reporters aren't allowed to show 11 on 11 and 7 on 7, and quite frankly, obviously, you're not going to be able to see much with no pads anyway. So take everything with a grain of salt. But the pure athletes that they're getting at the position tells me that they're getting some beasts, okay? We also saw some, some DB work. They're trying to get these DBs activated. Now, obviously, they've added Xavier Watts to the free safety core. They've added Billy Bowman, who's probably going to be more of a nickel in the NFL for them. And then you also add a guy like Kobe Bryant as a UDFA, who I think is an absolute unit of a player and probably should not have been undrafted. Now, 35... I want to say this is Billy Bowman, but I'm not too sure. I don't know numbers right now. So if you guys know any of these numbers, let me know. 31, I think, is Xavier Watts. You could tell it looks like, and yeah, it says Watts on the back of his jersey. So I would assume that he's more of a free safety. So whenever you see a free safety, you'll see him in these one high safety looks where he's in a midfield close. And right here, it looks like he's going from maybe in line, communicating with his teammates, pointing off, and then boom, turning the hips, looking at the quarterback, and dropping back. That's basically what this drill is, going from maybe the mid-read to a deep safety. So again, like the ball skills out of Xavier Watts, this is a guy that can force a lot of turnovers. In the Falcons last year, when you look at their interception percentage, they were 20th. So again, a lot of room to grow, and Xavier Watts is a guy that I think could be an absolute unit for this team going into next season. Now, here's another rep here from James Pearce getting up and going, right? I mean, this dude's speed, look at this dude. Athlete, sideline to sideline speed. If you just saw this clip, you'd be like, all right, this might be an off-ball linebacker. Dude, this dude is freaky. Look how quick he goes from down to up, and then the acceleration on this man is insane. Let's look at the left side again. Knocked this guy on the ground and barely even touched him. Look at the contact here. Barely touches him and still knocks him on the ground. They're probably not going to like that because you're not supposed to make contact with pretty much anybody at this point in time. And again, there's bare minimum contact. He just has that force that he can knock anyone down at any point in time. Now, I do apologize because we don't have too many highlights. They're not allowed to show too much during these practices because, again, if you show 11 on 11s, you can start getting into the playbook. If another team sees it, it could get a little bit dicey, right? But man, talking about the potential of this draft class, it could be through the roof. And I know a lot of Falcons fans are excited because finally didn't draft offense, and defense was needed. They gave up 25 points a game last year, which ranked about 24th in the NFL. Really, really bad. James Pearce, Jalon Walker, help it on day one. All right, so here's a little bit of 7-on-7 work here. No offensive line, no D-line, but just dropping back into coverage here. Now, we got to see Billy Bowman, Xavier Watts in this play. So, again, if I read this correctly, it looks like Xavier Watts is over here. I'm not sure which number Billy Bowman is, but let's see. What's the route concept? You got an in. And then you got a corner, 83. Great job by the safeties. Let me see if I can watch Xavier Watts. So, he's dropping back, reading the field, biting up. Probably would have made that tackle there if he needed to, but offense ends up picking up a couple of yards on this play. Great route over the middle. See, I wish I could see more of the numbers so I could tell you exactly who this guy is. But overall, this is the majority of what you're going to see for practice right now. Again, no contact, no pads, no D-line, no O-line, just kind of route concepts. And you're probably running at 50% speed as well. Yeah, not running too quickly here. Usually the defense gets the upper hand in these type of drills because they tend to run a little bit faster than the wide receivers. You just try a little bit harder. Looks like you probably got a cover 3 defense here. Yeah, maybe a cover 2. Maybe a cover 2 defense. For the most part, some cloud flats. But overall, guys, not a bad day 1. Before we get any further, make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new because it is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family. And turn on post notifications. That way you guys are notified every time we post a video covering this Atlanta Falcons practice. Whether it be, rookie minicamp, right? Whether it be mandatory minicamp. Whether it be training camp. OTAs, whatever it may be, we got you guys covered. So make sure you guys join the family. Turn on post notifications. Doesn't cost a thing. And who are you most excited for this upcoming season as a rookie? Who do you think will have the biggest impact in year 1? Alright guys, with that being said, there wasn't too much more footage, so I am going to end the video here. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications. I wish we got to see a little bit more from a guy like, for example, wide receiver, right? We had Nick Nash. I believe he was a UDFA, but he's a guy that I don't think should have been a UDFA. So hopefully get to see. Oh, there he is right there, number 80. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more of him going forward. But let me know who are you most excited to see. Let me know how you feel about this video. A lot of UDFAs coming in here trying to make a name for themselves. So tomorrow should be a little bit better of a practice. Should see a little bit more. But you're probably looking at 3 to 4 day 1 starters on defense coming from this NFL draft, and Jalon Walker and James Pearce off the edge. You look at Xavier Watts, who I think is probably going to start over Jordan Fuller. It may go the other way. Who knows? Jordan Fuller is a good player, so I wouldn't doubt it. You also bring in Leonard Floyd, so, we'll see what happens there. Billy Bowman, D. Alford, going to competing for that nickelback role. And then you got Kobe Bryant, dude. I don't understand how Kobe Bryant was UDFA, but he was. I'm excited for him, man. He's a dog. He is an absolute dog, so... yeah, Kobe Bryant, someone you guys need to keep your eye on going forward through the rest of rookie minicamp. And I probably would guess that he's going to be on the team for OTAs and mandatory minicamp and whatnot. I think he's got a signed contract, so he should be here. So that will be a fun guy to look out for as a UDFA. But let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe to the channel. I think this Falcons team is going to be a lot better than a lot of people think going into next season. I think the defense is way better, way better. You also add Morgan Fox as well. So they added a lot of things to this defense that should be better, and hopefully they don't allow 25 points a game again next year. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next update, which should be tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. And don't forget, let me know who are you most excited to see. With that being said, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's update. Peace.